Hello and welcome to today's video, and what I have done today is to rebuild the rear engine mount, also known as the transmission mount, on the XJ40. So I've got the mount out of the car, as you can see here, and there are 3 bolts with nuts that you need to remove. Now these are either 13 or 14 mil. They seem to be a size in between, so I've got a feeling they may even be imperial, which would probably put them around a ½ inch in size. So that's just something that's worth bearing in mind. Now they're not under a huge amount of spring pressure, so you don't need to have any clamps or anything when taking it off, as it's not going to go and fly off into your face. It certainly didn't on my situation anyway. So what I'm doing here is just undoing each bolt in turn and getting that top cap off, because that will separate the cup with the spring in it from the top mounting cap that you can see there. Now the thing that I forgot to do last time, or rather neglected to do, is I did not realise that there was a rather large bush that sits in between this cap and the spring. In fact, you can see a bit of the old one there down at the bottom, that sort of orange bit of foam material. And there's some there that I've just shown you in my hand, and there's a bit more that I'm clearing out of the cup itself. So what there should be is there should be a rubber ring which sits, actually slots into the top mounting cap itself, and then you've got the bowl that the spring sits in, and then you've got another rubber mount that sits on the bottom of the spring. Now interestingly, the spring itself, the rubber mount at the bottom of the spring, was actually in very good shape. It hadn't really deteriorated, but that foam mount was absolutely destroyed. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going ahead and reassembling it, and you actually reassemble it with the cup put through like that, the rubber mount pressed into the top cap like that, and then you bring the whole lot together with the 3 bolts and the 3 nuts, and that should actually, as you can see there, bring it together so you can get it back into the car. It does squeeze down quite easily. I mean, it's not particularly difficult to squeeze down. You can actually get it done with your knee, but if you've got access to some kind of press, then I would recommend that. I would recommend using that press to make this job a heck of a lot easier. Thing that I did do that I didn't mention earlier is I covered everything with a bit of black paint, gave it a bit of a clean, and gave it a spray down with a bit of black paint just to protect it from any sort of future corrosion issues. Although in fairness, it's been on the car for nearly 40 years and it's still in one piece of minor corrosion, so it's not actually done too badly. I'm using this G-clamp here just to compress the top bit down after getting a couple of those bolts in, and that just allows me to get the rest of the nuts and bolts sorted out and tightened up. When I put it back into the car, I got all of the mounting bolts for it screwed back into place, but it appears that I did break the weld on one of the captive nuts. And the reason why I think that happened is because I didn't pre-loosen it with a ratchet. I actually pre-loosened it, or rather loosened it, with an impact gun, and I've got a feeling that the vibrations from that impact gun actually caused the whole weld to crack, which could cause me a small issue in the future. But you can actually get to the bolt, so I'm just going to drop a bit of a weld on there at some point, but it is tight and it is done. Anyway, this is the final product. It's all back together. We've got that top rubber cup on there, we've got the cup nicely mounted inside the rubber boot itself, which is in that cap, so you've got no vibrations or clanking. That's the old foam one there, and the old cup, other old cup itself. Anyway, that's that. If you like this, don't forget to hit like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care, thanks for watching.